Welcome to Tech3030. My name is Corey Zupo and I'll be your instructor. I am finishing my PhD in Technology Management in the spring with a concentration in HRD and Industrial Training. My undergraduate degree is in Conflict Analysis and Resolution, and my master's degree is in Educational Leadership and Administration. My research interests hover around people and organizations and technology. Specifically, I'm particularly attracted to social networking and handheld electronic devices and how those things both enhance and detract from the work that we try to do as individuals and organizations. In this course, we're going to talk a lot about specific methodologies for instructional design and delivery, and as I've mentioned, there's been a great deal of change. So I imagine that there will be tools that I'm not yet aware of that you will share with me and your peers. Tech3030 was redesigned in the fall of 2009 when I was asked to look at the course to see how it fit within the specialization of the ATE curriculum that centered around training, design, and delivery. And designing the course while you're actually delivering a course is definitely not a best practice, and I would equate it much like repairing an airplane while you're in the air, which is a bad idea. But the caveat is that sometimes you have to do what you have to do. Accordingly, you may see things adjusted and perhaps moved around a little bit depending upon what your needs are. My goal is to try to bridge any gaps in your knowledge, knowing that some of you aren't completely through the course sequence for the specialization, and some of you are taking this course for other reasons. So we'll keep an eye on that. On a weekly basis, we're going to have lots of discussions that are both asynchronous and flowing. The discussions will involve lots of reflection and synthesis of material, and I'm big on citations. Students tend to not either understand why I ask for the citations or dislike doing it. Please know that it's just about developing a habit, and the habit ultimately is a courtesy for your readers so that if they are interested in the particular resources that you speak of, they would be able to go out and find these resources on their own and further read and educate themselves. So that's the logic behind the whole citation and reference rant that you'll probably hear once or twice. Some of the material will be review and some of the material will be new. It's going to be interesting to hear everyone's perspectives, as already I can see on the discussion boards we have a pretty diverse population of types of backgrounds and applications, so it's going to be a fun semester in that regard. There's a fair amount of video interaction, peer-to-peer and peer-to-instructor, which gives the course a little bit different flavor than perhaps other courses you're going to take from a distance. I also want to expose you to a number of LMS portals and platforms, learning management systems, to give you ideas of tools that you can take beyond this course and apply in your professional lives, regardless of what type of organization you're in and what your role is. They're always very good things to know. We'll use some social networking sites and open source tools. You've probably already seen the Facebook link up on Blackboard. Facebook is a good way to disseminate information to a large number of people, and I have to stress the fact that I don't expect you to spend large amounts of time on social networking sites. I don't believe any of us have that kind of bandwidth. However, I do use it as a tool professionally quite a bit to interact with my colleagues, and of course for our purposes I'm using it to post items of interest that you might find useful at some point. So at the end of the project, we put all of these things together into what is considered to be a capstone project. And the capstone is something that's going to bridge the theory to applied and hopefully be something that you can take back to your employer and utilize in a real-world situation. I'm a firm believer in completing that circle of learning by actually applying what it is that you've learned. Otherwise, I don't think that it's useful for the learner. Some of the helpful resources you will find in this course include, of course, Blackboard. We've had some issues with Blackboard over the past week. Instructors couldn't load content, which was quite distressing. It took a couple of days to get that figured out, and I have had a number of students email me telling me that the email function was not working and that they were having trouble also loading content. In the case that you're having issues with technology related to the Blackboard system especially, I would suggest that you contact ITS, Instructional Technology Services, and make a report so that they're aware that these issues are out there. Another helpful resource is going to be me, your instructor. The first line of contact is always an email, and if it's something that's urgent and hasn't already been discussed on the Blackboard site in the form of an FAQ or a discussion thread otherwise, you can feel free to email me, call me if you need to, and I will try to be responsive, especially to emails. I generally like to get those out within 12 to 24 hours, no longer. I've had the experience as a distance learner where my email went into the black hole and I didn't hear from my instructor for days, and it does tend to cause a little panic. Which brings me to my next point. There is nothing in this course that should cause you to either stay up all night worrying or panic about if you're having issues. Then communicate with your peers or your instructor or technology services, and understand that communicating with me that you have a problem is probably the most important part of that equation. Another helpful resource you're going to find is each other. Often I find that students learn from other students, and of course I learn from my students continually, so it's kind of a cool feed of information into the system, if you will. And we'll use the tools that I previously mentioned, and others as we go through the semester. With regard to privacy, please be aware that anything posted on the Blackboard site is considered private and is for our use only, so please do not repost anybody's videos or words without securing their permission first. It's kind of an important thing. It's sort of a trust relationship that we have between us. In week 1, you should have reviewed the syllabus and the assignment schedule as well as the FAQs. Take a look at the Facebook page. If you're going to use some sort of a fictitious name or presence, let me know who you are for these various exercises. I understand that some people have some privacy concerns, and I also have privacy concerns in that I wouldn't want things that I post on a private page put out to the world and be readily accessible. So certainly, again, it goes back to those expectations. I also use Posterous, which allows me to cross-post between Twitter, Facebook, and my WordPress account. That information will be up on the Blackboard site, so you can choose how you get that information on your own. Looking ahead to week 2, you need to set up a Skype account and provide me with your Skype name on the discussion board thread on Blackboard, and we will get started with the synchronous interactions between the instructor and students. I hope you are excited. I am. I think every time I teach this course it allows for new learning on my part, and I'm certain that the things that you will share among yourselves will provide you with new opportunities and ideas as well. Communication is the key. Keep in touch and have a great semester. Thank you.